Welcome back to Zwartkops and penultimate round action from the Pro Tour. A big thanks to Goldwagen, as always, for this Goldwagen Challenge action from Zwartkops. Slightly diminished fields, but nonetheless the action is going to be thick and fast going into the closing stages. The championships are all up for grabs. In classes B and D, qualifying was extremely tight. Atkinson, Nathan and Cruz are top three in Class B. Look how tight that is, half a second between them. In Class D, Hurley, Ramsey and Piazza Musso, 0.7 of a second between them.
If something goes wrong with Darren, you know, you could get some vital points that'll put you back in the race. What are your plans for the weekend?
Greg, yes, it's been a tough season. We've had a lot of misfortune. We're hanging in, we're trying our very best. Darren is also very fast at the moment, and yeah, we're just going to drive every lap to the maximum.
You're keen to keep that championship lead as big as it is, and what are your plans for the weekend? Obviously, Lyle's going to try to come back as strong as possible. What's your strategy?
Well, look, I was much quicker in qualifying than Lyle, but the first practice this morning, he was very quick, he was on my pace. So I'd like to just sew up the Class C championship, but also maybe have a look at the overall for the week, yeah. Try and get that overall for Kyle Army as well.
Class B is lined up, ready to go. Remember, they'll be starting out first, and it's an extremely good start heading down there. And as you can see, a couple of guys, I think, might have just got a little bit of a better start than most. Cruiser didn't get a good one at all. Elna has to come from the back of the field as they go through into turn number 2 now. Hard braking at the front, and it's Atkinson versus Nathan. Sex Trader car, then Thole. Right behind there, Stevenson just sneaking in between. Potgieter, wow, Pete Potgieter back in action in the Xerox car.
Off the start line goes Class D, and we've got Lyle Ramsey as well as Hurley. Hurley managing to hang on to it. He outdoes Ramsey going into turn 1. Ramsey knows what he needs to do, so does Hurley. Hurley's going to go to Spencer. No, he doesn't. He opens the door. Lyle Ramsey dives up the inside. Great job there, youngster.
Yeah, Lyle Ramsey just sneaking through Rebel Racing. Volkswagen Golf gets to the front end early on. He's got to beat James Hurley today. If this championship's going to be wrapped up, it'll be because James Hurley is winning everything out here today. And Hurley has got it all to do. He's got to get back past Ramsey now.
Hurley is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's sitting there putting all the pressure on Ramsey. Ramsey has to work extra hard. He's got to keep it on the road and keep the pace up. But back to Class B, we've got Thole in his new car. The first time he's driven this motor car. And but out in front we've got Rory Atkinson. Darren Nathan goes in really tight. He's trying to outbrake him. He's doing everything he possibly can to try and have a go at that young man.
Yeah, Atkinson just had the door firmly shut there. Wasn't a place to go through. Hang tight though. Thole's putting pressure onto Nathan. So the Polo GTI on the back end of this Polo, and it's a really tight stuff. Look at how close it is at the front end here. Change up for the lead though. Wow, Hurley has got through, and it looks like things are changing up here dramatically. Piazza Musso has got ahead of Lyle Ramsey.
Absolutely, Ramsey's gone right back to third position. As I said to you, the pressure is on. Now this is probably a little bit easier for him, Greg. He can now concentrate on capitalizing on everybody else's errors. There's one of them, somebody running really wide. I'm not sure.
Brad Hall getting it completely wrong there. That's Piazza Musso's teammate. The Histonic boys are not having it all their own way. One is perfectly positioned, the other one running a little wide.
And here comes Ramsey up the inside again. He knows this line. He does it, sticks it through up the inside, runs it slightly wide. He knows he needs to get onto the back of Hurley and put pressure onto him. Hurley knew that it would only be pressure that might make a mistake from Ramsey, and it did. Here it comes again. Ramsey goes up the inside. Hurley takes a normal line. Ramsey up the inside. Great driving there. Yeah, these boys are driving really, really hard here.
The return of the favour, I'd have to say. And Piazza Musso's not holding back either. He's not worried about the championship. He wants race on a victory here today, and he snuck through on the championship leader. So James Hurley is sitting in third place where 3 corners ago he was leading.
Absolutely. How's this for racing? This is Class D action right from the top ranks of the racing in this country. These guys they're not even like 18 years old. They're like kids, man.
Yeah, they're having a great time out there. There's no doubt about it. Ramsey hangs on now and opens up a little bit of a lead. That's because of the in-house fight there between Piazza Musso and, of course, James Hurley. Now, James Hurley also doesn't have to take into account not only Class D, but he's hanging real tough and right at the top end of the overall championship. So he's got it all to do today. You're speaking of pressure. I think there might be a little bit more on him than there is on Ramsey.
Yeah, that's probably just coming from his dad, but he just wants to go out and have some fun. He's racing really hard. Overall championship is something that you got to do up the inside. There it comes. I wonder if he's not just deciding when he can do it, because he can.
No, he can. There is no doubt about it. Every time he wants to make a maneuver, he does. So I've got to agree with you, Graham. 100% right. James Hurley has got past Piazza Musso. Ramsey's opened up a little bit of a gap now. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to pull that gap back.
No, I don't think he should try. He's sitting there quite comfortably, keeping it on the island. Don't make any mistakes. Look after the championship win. Look after the class win. And at the end of the day, we add all the points up and we see who wins totally.
Well, we got 1.5 laps to go here for Darren Nathan, running a little wide there under pressure from Thole. The Nathan's Motorsport boys going at it here. No team orders there between these oaks, is there?
No. There's no team orders. They've got the Six Trader car versus the Brent Brompton's car in my team. But out in front, Rory Atkinson is gone. He has put his head down. He has just ducked into the distance. Ryan Thole probably doing a little bit of teamwork and team playing because he knows that Darren is in this championship for the long run. But and he hasn't been in it. He's loving his new motor car. I think there it is, lifting the wheel up, going through the last corner on the racetrack. Probably going to push Darren and go, come on, But get going.
Yeah, last lap now, Darren. Let's get at it. Come on, let's see if we can get away from the man in fourth place, Ian Stevenson, all on his own in fourth place, in fact. Tyrell Govindasamy and Pete Potgieter not able to run with him. Here's our leader's view as he comes out of Kenwood corner. He's going to flick it over onto the left-hand side of Execuline, and he's got one corner to go to make it race one victory for Class B. And look at the gap he's got over Nathan. Still waiting for him to come into sights. In fact, he's got that entire straight. They've only just turned into Execuline as he takes Goldwagen.
Rory Atkinson doing a superb job, winning the first race out. His championship well on the way to recovery after a failure at Velkom. Darren Nathan taking second, Ryan Thole taking third position, Ian Stevenson ahead of Tyrell Govindasamy.
Class D was Ramsey, Hurley and Piazza Musso, Brad Hall and Jacques Smith making up the top five.
Lyle Ramsey, first win under the Drift Performance Products banner. I'm sure your sponsors are elated, and good to see you back at the front. Tell us about the race.
It was a very good race. Me, Devin and James had awesome racing. Quite a few passing positions. And then I'd just like to say big thanks to Drift Performance. They are really coming in to help us, and this is going to make me get noticed that much more.
Well, moving on to Class A and C, and Voldy Monkeys is the man to catch in Class A's, but Smallberger did that and did it well. 82 hundredths of a second ahead of Voldy. Jody Robertson making a welcome return to Class A in third. Needham takes Class C.
Nice to see you back in front. And what are your plans for the race? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, first of all, I must say thank you to Alp Racing for a brilliant car. And also to put the ABT car ahead of everybody is wonderful. And it's my first pole this year. And planning on the race, I think we'll take it as it comes. I'm trying to get a good start, get away from the guys and take it from there.
The Van Vleet is on the second row. And what are your plans for the race?
Qualifying was quite tough though. We had 2 red flags, and if I didn't go out after the second one, I would not have put up this time. So I'm very grateful that I went out. A lot of the guys didn't go out. In the race, I'm just going to keep my head down. I've got a good starting position. So yeah, hopefully I can stay there and stick with the 2 front runners throughout the race and yeah, give them a good run for their money.
Class A's on the line, lights out, and a good start at the back end there. You can see things just opening up for Carlos Nobre. I was going to mention the fact that he wasn't in the top 5, and a man to watch out for, especially here at Zwartkops. He's got a very good talent for the circuit.
He's driving very, very nicely. He's taken over the old Van der Linde motor car. Is now in the Harp Racing team as we go on board with Derek Smallberger out in front, full throttle. Voldy Mank running to the outside of the racetrack. Voldy knows that he unfortunately can't do too much pushing and shoving because he's under observation. He's got a yellow card sticker on the window of his motor car, and he is under observation. If he causes any trouble, he's going to get a wrapping over the knuckles.
Oh, and that little tap is one that he might be able to have a wrap over the knuckles. Oh, Smallberger's lost it. Smallberger's out of shape. So is Jody Robertson. The 2 classics have got it completely wrong out of Castle Edge. I think somebody's run onto the dirt to avoid them. Yes, indeed, that was Keegan Blackensee. The Golf 4 had to just get out of it completely as Smallberger and Jody Robertson got completely out of shape on cold tyres in turn 4.
They got it out of shape, all squirrely, but Smallberger hung in there. He almost managed to hang on to his lead. But we go down into Class C as it looks like Elke is ahead of Henry at the moment. Yes, oh, a little bit of rubbing there. It would be quite exciting at dinner table.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Alka seems to have what it takes here, and that Golf 1 is working a little bit better than the Batman's Golf 2. And they're still side by side out of turn 2, onto the back straight now and heading up towards 4. Look at this. Absolutely awesome stuff. At the front end, it's going to be a battle royal. Needham needs to win as many as he can, try and get this championship back into his hands. But Vota is right with him.
Vota is sitting in second place. He's trying as hard as he possibly can. He wants to try and take the Oval Championship. Let's have a look at, whoa, big touch there. Going into turn 4, Barry Groenewald completely sideways. He got tagged by, it looked like Keegan Blackensee, who takes to the grass to miss everybody. Jody Robertson getting it all out of shape just through tyres, I think.
No, I actually want to bring that up. There is 3 Polo Classics getting it wrong there. The 2 AABT Help Racing machines getting completely wrong. Jody Robertson has to go, I think, just in sympathy there. And all 3 Polo Classics were out of shape through turn 4.
Absolutely. Polo Classics obviously need a little bit more heat in their tyres before they tip it into turn 4 and full tilt. But back to Class C, we've still got Voterus in second. Henry van Vleuten now right behind him in third position. Elka's right behind him, and it's flat out everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. As always in Goldwagen Challenge. Onto the braking markers for the leaders. Voldy versus Derek, and all of a sudden, as I mentioned, Nobre is going to be a factor here. There's no doubt about it. He's got through the field nicely due to the fact that he stayed out of all the trouble. He was actually able to sneak on the inside of the spinning Groenewald as they went through turn 4 there. But he's now in third place, closing down on his teammate. And this is going to be an epic battle between these 3. In the background, though, what a start there for Jason Finney. He's up into the running too. And Andy Gossman is just ahead of him at this point.
Absolutely, but out in front, Voldy is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's trying to win out his Class A championship here. He knows that if he stays out of trouble and he just puts his head down, stays on the island, stays on the black stuff, he's going to do it.
If he finishes up at the front end for both races, there's no doubt about Class A will go his way. He'll probably finish in the top 5 overall. I'm not quite sure he's going to be in contention for the top 5, but with the kind of action that's happening here between Smallberger and Nobre's on his inside, has he got what it takes on the brakes? Yes, he has. He's going to sneak through here and get up to second.
Nobre going through on the inside. Derek must just sit there and actually just let him go. He seems to be a bit quicker than him right now. Maybe he can pull him back towards Voldy, and then they can try and ambush Voldy towards the later part of the race. But Carlos Nobre from the back of the field, he's lying second. Voldy, I'm sure, knows the race is on now.
Definitely, Voldy's going to have to get away now. He sees a red car as opposed to the yellow one. He knows he had the match there for the yellow car of Smallberger, but I'm not quite sure he's going to have the same kind of pace as what we're seeing out of Nobre. Nobre has come literally from the back of the field up to second so far.
Doing a superb job there. These are 2 similarly matched motor cars. They are all Polo 3s, but a drag race here into the last corner. Who is going to make it stick? 2 cars abreast. Cap gets ahead of Giles Derrick going through the Goldwagen corner, and it's a drag race now to turn 1. Is he going to set him up for 2? He goes up the inside. Let's see what happens further down the road. We've got Philip Cruiser. He's right there behind Christian de Wet. And let's see, going down to turn 2. Christian goes to the inside, and Philip is forced to go around the outside. Can he hang it around the outside? He has a go. He runs right down the road.
I know
Philip
exactly
ran
how
out
he
of
feels.
talent.
Yeah, I know how he feels. I've done that before in a golf. Don't feel too bad though, Cruiser. Back on track as quickly as you can. Oh, speaking of back on track, check the action in the Bat family.
Absolutely.
The Batgirl is all over the Batman, and I think the Dark Knight is going to have his work cut out for him to try and maintain that third place. Elka wants it. And as I said, as you said earlier, can you imagine the conversation over dinner if the Batgirl wins out?
I think it's going to be real quiet at that dinner table. You know, maybe that's what Henry needs, eh? A bit of quiet time.
Exactly.
But out in front, though, Voterus has gone on to the back of the leading car. That Polo Classic doing the work now.
It certainly is. It's running nicely there with Nobre all over the back and looking for a way through. Now you can see Voterus, as you mentioned, closing onto the lead of Andre Needham. But this is no problem here. Voldy Mikey's has come through. He has maintained the front, he's maintained his lead, and he's going to take the checkered flag ahead of Carlos Nobre in second place. And Derek Smallberger just behind him there. And a great run there for the Sabertech team.
Andre Needham taking Class C ahead of Voterus. Henry beating out Elka and Michael Cap.
Voldy, a hectic start, but at the end of the day, you take the win and a good race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a hectic start. I had a good start. Derek was a little bit slow off the start, but I just couldn't get in front of him. So followed him around the track in turn 4. He had a massive slide, and to a certain extent I actually pushed him straight. Otherwise he would have gone to the inside, hit the wall there. So, and from then on I led. Derek was on my ass for a short while, and at the end of the day I just kept my pace. Did the constant laps and pulled away a little bit. So great race. Now looking forward to the second heat, and you know, just want to say thank you to all our sponsors, you know, Indy Oil, Goldwagen, Spares, Norbrake, ATE, our friends from Dictator, and all the other supporting sponsors.
Join us after the break for Heat 2 action from the Goldwagen Challenge. action, I think it's going to be even hotter than what we saw in race number 1, because it's now a championship that are up for grabs, and these guys are within a couple of points of each other. Darren Nathan's got it all to do. He has to win. He's got to beat Atkinson if he wants to maintain the lead in this championship. But in the background, you also take into account that in Class D, James Hurley is starting to close in on him.
On board with Elna Cruiser as we go into one. Ahead of her is, whoa, there's a touch. Oh no.
Stevenson and Thole and Stevenson, and it looks like he's taken out Governor Sami. Woo, there's big trouble coming here. Tyrell Governor being spun out by the car sneaking across the circuit. I think what happened there was Stevenson got a jump start, went into turn 1 a little bit too hot, and here's the start for Class Ds. I don't think they're going to get too far, because if there's chaos around the corner, there's going to be yellow flags waving frantically, which means there shouldn't be any overtaking for these guys.
4 cars going into turn 1. The Rastonic cars, there's no team orders there. There's no flags anywhere. The marshals are scattering all over the show. There's dirty racetrack, cars on the sand, and Gammy getting a little bit of rallycross racing here. Dude, it's much quicker on the black stuff.
Yeah, stay on the black stuff, Craig, and that big jumbo Golf will help you out a little bit more. But I was surprised there was no yellow flags there. There were 3 cars stranded either side. Governor Sami managed to get going, fortunately, by the time these guys got there. But you still had... Oh, look, there we go. Stevenson running too hot into turn 1, takes out the new GTI. Oh, no.
Boom.
Oh, that's a big one. Thole's not going to be happy about that. Then he comes across. Tyrell Governor Sami with nowhere to go. Good braking up from Elna just to stay out of it. But, yeah, at last we get a safety car.
And then when Elna opened her eyes, there was clear road ahead of her.
Exactly, not a bad option. So the Pretoria North Toyota will have to come and do some duty as safety car as they try and get Stevenson and Thole's cars recovered from the exits of turn 1 and the inside of turn 2.
Class B, dramatically smaller field now. There's 3 motor cars potentially out of this game. Thole's sitting there probably going, I don't even want to get out and have a look at what this motor car looks like, because it's so new. It's his first time out in it, and this is going to hurt.
Right, the Toyota pulls onto the sideline. Volkswagen Challenge second start about to go. It's now up to Atkinson. He's looked like he might have get everybody. No, he hasn't. Nathan saw him go and went with him. The problem we've got right now, Nate, is that all of a sudden Class D and B are in the mix and are very close, which means the front end of D are going to catch the back end of Class B.
Indeed, and as you say that, little Hurley put his head down and he ducked with Class B. He's taken a huge gap out of Lyle Ramsey. They will never catch him. If you have a look here now, there's Hurley. There comes the rest of Class D. That is Smith going to the outside of Piazza Musa. Lyle Ramsey goes up the inside of Smith. Can he make it stick? He's drag raced now behind Piazza Musa. Flat out to turn 4. But have a look at the gap between them and Hurley out in front. He actually caught these guys with their pants down.
I think what actually happened is the fact that they might have thought, same as for the start, when there's a separated start, they might have had to hang back slightly. That doesn't occur if there's a safety car. Same in production cars. If you guys catch Class A, there's a safety car, you guys are right there, you start right behind them.
Indeed, you start right behind Class A. When the race goes on again, you go, boy. And Lyle Ramsey sticks it past Piazza Musa going into turn 4. Runs it wide, but he manages to make the pass. But he's going to have to put his head down, because if he needs to catch early, he's going to do some huge racing in a very short time. Darren Nathan, though, knows exactly what he needs to do. And Rory Atkinson just sitting there going, I'm going to do this. Oh, there's a problem here. Nathan's car is slowing down.
The six-trader car seems to have a bit of a problem there, and that's a big, big pity. If he pulls onto the sideline, this could be the championship going out of his hands. He came into the round leading, and there's another Nathan's Motorsport car parked alongside. That's not good. Unfortunately, that is going to cost him dearly, and that might just bring Atkinson back into the overall championship race too.
Indeed it will. Pit Potgieter deep in the battle between Class D. That's Brad Hall and Lyle Ramsey and everybody trying to get past the back end of the Class B cars. These guys are driving all over the show. They're getting a lesson from the kids.
Yeah, in fact, that's actually Elna Cruiser who stayed out of trouble and moving up nicely. Then you've got Ramsey, Pit Potgieter behind him, and then it's Piazza Musa and Brad Hall. So interesting turn up for the books here as they go out and into Kenwood Corner. Really good stuff. Piazza Musa finds a way through, but Atkinson, he's all on his own now. He's got no worries whatsoever. And of course, it's going to be easy sailing for him, plain sailing to the end and to the checkered flag. Let's see what happens for second place, though. Will it be Cruiser or is it going to be Pit Potgieter?
Atkinson doing exactly what he needed to do to recover from the failure that he had in Velkom. A great drive, a great performance by his team. These guys did exactly what they needed to do, get back on the front of the championship and put all the pressure back onto Darren Nathan.
I can't believe how close it's going to be in this championship, because I think it's going to be 1 point ahead of Nathan in the Class Bs and the overall championship race. And the checkered flag comes out. Atkinson has done it all right. Good job there, Ross. Second place is going to go to Elna Cruiser. A superb effort from the lady coming through there to take the second place in Class B. Stewie Mack hung on for third. Class D's Hurley did it all right. Wraps up the championship and now goes hunting for the overall ahead of Piazza Musa and Ramsey.
That happened. Nathan didn't finish. You've got a full house of points. You definitely have come back into the championship. And what are the plans going forward now?
Greg, the same plan as we did arriving here. Darren unfortunately had something wrong with his car. He was competitive. You don't like to take it away that way, unfortunately, but we're going to just give it our best. Full attack to the next race. Same thing we've been doing the whole year.
You caught the rest of them napping at the restart. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened behind me, but I just went with the Class Bs, and when I looked behind me, there was a huge gap, and there was no one to be seen.
Good thinking by that young man. Let's see what's going to happen in Class A and C now. Heading down to the first corner. It's a good start once again from Baldy Monkeys. Here we go on board with Keegan Blackensee. Remember, he had to take evasive action through 4, so he'll be looking to get a little bit higher up than where he is right now in race 2.
Absolutely. Let's see whether or not the Polo Classic drivers have learnt a little bit about turn 4 and heating the tyres up. Barry Groenewald is going to try and stay out of Keegan's way, but great start by Wouter Roos off the start line now. Needham, can he do it this time? Wouter up the inside. Wouter goes inside. Needham goes around the outside of him. Wouter Roos decides, I like the car.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of overfill on the fuel too, because there was a bit of fuel spilling out of that Golf 1. Elka sneaking through the Pat Girls up to second. Wouter Roos has just been shown the way around. Renex corner, no he hasn't. He comes back. Good recovery there, Wouter, but it's going to be close, yeah.
Great job there by Elka. She's just putting huge pressure onto Wouter. He's going, and now? What's the story now? I didn't know you were allowed to come past and challenge me for this position, but here it is. 3, 4, 5 cars into turn 4. Let's make it. Giles Derrick goes around the outside, and
Caps on his inside, trying to hang on. Wow, look how close that is. It's awesome stuff here with these guys and girls. And at the front end, also just picking up on the fact that Batman is not out there. There was a problem on the Golf 2, and he didn't make it out for race 2. We're on board here with Jason Finney. He's inside the flight hand cleaner Golf of Scholl Smallberger. He wasn't able to raid this one because for some reason he just wasn't able. And here's Jason giving it everything he can in that car.
Yeah, Scholl managed to hurt his arm doing something. Strangely enough, that him and his girlfriend both had arms that were out of commission. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Let's carry on with the racing here. Valdi Mank is out in front, doing exactly what he needs to do. The pressure is now off. He has done enough to win the Class A championship, so he's just out there having a play.
Jody Robertson starting to make ground after a little bit of lost ground in race number 1. Remember, he parked it at the top of the hill on the first couple of laps, so he had some serious work to do, as has Keegan Blackensee. We watched them coming through, speed and sound sweep onto the back straight. Hard on the brakes for Cashel Edge as the leaders, and a little bit further back than Needham. Oh, Cap's out of shape. Michael Cap got that completely wrong.
Michael manages to stop it off the wall. That's a great place to stop it, but he off the wall, get back in the game. But Wouter is still putting huge pressure on Needham, and he has got huge pressure on the back of his car from Elke van Vledder.
The Batgirl's having one of the best races we've seen out of her in a long, long time. Yes, Cap just running onto the dirt. How many people have done that at Zwartkops? You're not the first, you're definitely not going to be the last. Well done there from the rest of the field for missing out. Gossman missed him, so did De Vet. And I think Gatraso had his eyes wide open there.
Absolutely, but out in front, Valdi Mank is just doing exactly what it is. Up the inside of Finney goes Jody Robertson. He's doing it one car at a time. He's come from the back of the field, putting his head down. He knows this racetrack very, very well. He's stationed here. His workshop's just down the road. Finney is not going to give up though. He's going to see if he can let Jody pull him towards the front of the field. Jason hasn't been in a racing car for quite a while, and this once-off drive is probably just trying to shake all the cobwebs off, get the rust out of the system, and he is driving really well.
Gossman under massive pressure though from Keegan Blackensee. You can see Andy having to get a little bit of understeer coming out of 6 into 7, and he manages to keep the big Golf 4 out, but it's Jumbo Golf versus Golf 4, and this is looking a little bit further down for 6th and 7th place on the road.
Quite amazing that there are so many different brands, so many different year marks, and they're so competitive. The guys just get everything to go as fast as they can. Going up the inside though is Keegan this time. He has managed to get past the Jumbo Golf this time.
Yeah, good move there from Keegan Blackensee, just sneaking through and finding a way past, and there was no answer at all coming from Andy Gossman. This battle continued between Finney and Robertson as they go onto the back straight. But further back here, Needham hangs on. Of course, Andre Needham is slowly but surely coming back into contention for Class C honours, but I'm not quite sure if he's done enough just yet. Because remember, he might just be out of the running for the overall if he can maintain where he is now.
Well, I'm not sure. I never count the points right to the end, but everybody else is counting. He's just doing what he can to stay out in front, the same as this man. Valdi Mankis with his lights on here, just doing exactly what he needed to do. No pressure, didn't touch anybody, and looking after his car and his championship, doing a great job. Well done, Valdi.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there, and a good performance from the Master. And the Performance Master's car comes across just ahead was Michael Cap. He still has to do another lap now as Valdi takes the checkered flag, and it's all about Nobre and Smallberger in second and third. Jody Robertson, a much better second heat in fourth ahead of Jason Finney, and Andre Needham wins out Class C again ahead of Votarus and the Bat Lady.
You certainly had a chase on by Carlos towards the end there, but this does your championship hopes the world of good.
No, it does. I mean, sure. Carlos' car definitely worked better towards the end of the race than in comparison with the first heat. Really had to work hard, you know, and but I'm standing here, and that's why you're talking to me. So I got the first place, and that's great.
Andre, another fantastic drive, but it almost didn't happen. Tell us what happened just before the race.
A couple of minutes before the race, we had a misfire on the car, and the car, the wiring harness started to burn. And a couple of minutes before the race, we had to replace the harness, so it was touch and go again. But the luck was on our side.
You certainly seem to be racking in the results in the last couple of races.
Yes, definitely, Greg. Yeah, I had a great race. I changed my car. I sold my old car and I bought a new car, and the new car is really stable and really well sorted, so I feel a lot more confident. So I've been able to go faster through corners, to use different gears to what I used previously. So yeah, it feels really good. And yeah, third overall, second race meeting in a row, and that's an awesome result. I'm very happy.
With Hurley wrapping up Class D championship, he takes the overall championship ahead of Darren Nathan and Atkinson. But Andre Needham in fourth place still has a chance of catching those first four. A big thanks to Goldwagen and all our associate sponsors for the Goldwagen Challenge action from Zwartkops.